様の選択か。しまいだ。
あなたはまさか。
我が名はシャドウ。しまった。我が名はシャドウ。
スタイリッシュ盗賊スレイヤーさん。
Yo, what was that episode? Sid, toilet. Yo, what an incredible episode. Like, I don't have to waste any time to say this effing anime is such a freaking masterpiece, I swear. It's just so good. It just doesn't miss. But yo, that ending though, when Beatrix was like, I'm gonna fight him now, and she just decided to fight Sid, I was like, yo, Sid, and Sid's like, I was like, he's like, yeah, let's go, dude. Yo, the only thing that pissed me off about the end was Asshat running away. I was like, no, don't let Asshat go away. But man, okay. Where do I even start? I think the entrance, like, I think what I showed at the beginning, the entrance of Sid, like, Oriana's there, right? And she was like, I'm gonna do it. You know, she went there and she was trying to end her dad's suffering. Now, I think the sad part of it, and I don't know if dad can be saved at this point, I think that the sad part of it is that, like, he was being drugged. I don't know if that is irreversible or not, but I understand Princess Oriana's, Rose's intentions here was to save dad. He's suffering. He's hella drugged up, and, you know, he is able to kind of push through the drug and say two things that are extremely vital and important to Rose's mental health and kind of like her future. And those two things were, I forgive you for everything that you did, and I love you, right? I was like, oh my God. Like, you know, he was able to push through at the sight of his daughter to say those two things that mean everything to her, or at least I would imagine it means everything to her. And I was like, that's an incredible moment. So I love how the anime can just be like, da, 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 up and down, and still like just pull this really heart-wrenching emotional moment. And I was like, God damn, it's so good. So I really loved, I loved that moment, right? And I was like, man, I even wrote down, like, Dad responded, nice. And I was like, that's perfect. And then, you know, at this point, she was about to, like, do what she needed for her country. And, you know, she was about to end them and end herself. And then right then and there, Sid jumps in through the window as Mundane Man and just rips everybody to shreds. Then he, you know, he's like, okay, my disguise is done. He's like, I am Shadow. And then she hit him with, what did she do? I gotta do it right. She looked up at him in awe, and she was like, the stylish bandit slayer. And he was like, oh. My man died. His soul died in that moment. He's like, the hell? And we get a cutscene back. We've seen the cutscene before. We see the cutscene back of him. He's basically, you know, during the moments of him as a younger man, he was training and, you know, he was getting ready to be Shadow and everything else. So he was going and ruining bandits and stealing their money and everything. That's right. That's how he was able to amass the ability to do what he needed to do at that time. He was basically just effing up bandits everywhere. And I love how he was like, damn, you know, Sid was like, yo, I thought you were just like some random village girl. He's like, I didn't know you're the effing princess. What the hell? So he messed up, and now he's the stylish bandit slayer. And I was like, yes. But he comes in and he saves her, right? He's like, what do you think you're doing? Is this what you really wanted? And he saved his girl, right? He saved his girl, Rose, you know. And at some point, she's going to see through his... You know, she's going to see through his games and disguise, and she's going to realize that stylish bandit slayer is Shadow, which she realized, and then she's going to connect the dots that Shadow is Sid. And the thing that troubles me the most is, like, Clark Kent with the glasses and no glasses equals Superman, is, like, Sid's face underneath his little cloak. That's his face. That's Sid's face there. His hair might get a little bit more, he might have a little gel in his hair, but that's Sid's face. It's like, how do you guys not see that that's Sid? That's the part that baffles me. Yeah, Sid's pretty good at making his face look dumb, but that's Sid. Like, that's him. So I'm just waiting for that moment you know, for him to kind of like connect, or I'm waiting for that moment for them to connect the dots that that's Sid. So I'm waiting for Rose for that to happen. Backtracking, you know, a little bit before that, right? Backtracking a little bit before too. We also had, you know, Rose go in, and she was heavily helped by Beta and the Shadow Garden girls, right? They were there. They ruined everybody. They even left their bodies and stuff, kind of like as like a, we did that. But I love how Beta helped her out, and she was like, go complete your mission. And I love how everything is like orchestrated, you know, and stuff like that. So I really loved that moment as well too. So it's like, okay, Rose at this point needs to be part of Shadow Garden, and I think that she will be the queen, or she will be the leader of is the kingdom Oriana, whatever it is. But I think that she will be the leader of her kingdom. So just like Beta and Delta and everyone else kind of has their own positions in the world, I think that Shu will have this position in the world as well, as soon as this whole little ordeal is cleaned up. So I feel in my heart of hearts that she will be part of Shadow Guardian, and I feel in my heart of hearts that she will have a that she will find out that Sid is Shadow. And the thing that I think that I see that introducing is her and Sid become closer. And then where does that leave Alexia, right? It's like there's some very interesting to see what's going to happen here, but I cannot wait for it. But I love all that. Okay, now I backtrack. Let me go forward again to the end where Beatrix decides to finally fight him. That one caught me off guard. I was expecting Beatrix to, I don't know. I was expecting her to come into play at some point. And I know that she had her eyeballs on Sid, and then she had her eyeballs on Mundane Man, and she was like foaming at the mouth to go and fight Mundane Man. So when he came in, and then he revealed himself as Shadow, you could definitely see that she was like, I need to fight this guy. Now, the question when it comes to Beatrix is, based on scent and smell, did she put it together that Sid is Shadow? So that I'm wondering all of this, too, and I wonder if she's going to call him out. Maybe not in front of people, but just to him directly. I think that's going to be an interesting moment when that happens. But man, Asshat, I just really wish that like Sid threw something at her, but maybe he's leaving her for Oriana. I don't know. So we're gonna have to see what ends up happening with Asshat and everything. Aside from that, I think the Mundane Man versus Iris fight was really good. Sid ruined her, right? He ruined her with like showing her flashes and images and illusionary things of what could happen. But the way that he does it is basically like, it did happen. Like, you're going through this right now. But he's like manipulating time and space and everything. Like, my man is like he's like a genius when it comes to this stuff. He ruined her. So I feel bad for Iris. I was going to see what ends up happening, but he definitely won that fight. So I wonder if he's just going to win. I wonder if he's going to just win the sword fight, or because now that he's outed himself as Shadow as opposed to being Mundane Man, I wonder if Claire is going to end up winning by default because she's like the last man standing kind of thing. Because I think at this point it was Mundane Man versus Iris, Claire versus whoever she won against. So it's going to be Claire versus Mundane Man. But I don't think that fight's going to happen. So I wonder if Claire's just going to be declared the winner of this tournament, or maybe they'll just call it off completely. So either way, Claire's going to be pissed. So I think that's going to be a very interesting thing to see as well, too. Very last thing I'll say is the Iris. Last thing I'll say is Iris is very much affected. She has a big chip on her shoulder. So I wonder what's going to happen there. I know Dad stepped away when she had lost. So I wonder what's going to happen there. And then Alexia's been kind of MIA, so I wonder what's going to happen there as well, too. So a lot of questions that I have going forward, but overall this episode was absolutely killer. Absolutely enjoyed it. This was bonkers AF, and the stylish bandit slayer has struck again. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys being here each and every week. You have nothing to say, drop me an emoji so I know you are here. And we will see you guys next week to see what happens with Mr. Asshat. All right. Bang, bang. See you guys next week.